Hello everyone and welcome back to Ride the Wave with Ocean Lombard on the road. Today I'm so excited because we're at Seafood Haven and I'm going to interview Caswell Cooke. Follow me. Caswell Cooke. So let's get into it. Do you want to start off by introducing yourself?
I'm Caswell Cooke.
So he did explain that he wears many hats and does a lot of different stuff. So can you talk about that a little bit?
I'm the executive director of the Misquamicut Business Association, which I started in 2000. So we're celebrating our 25th year. I was just a kid then. I was 26, so now you can figure out my age. I DJ a lot in the summertime, so I'm at the Windjammer in different places around town, but mostly at the Windjammer in the summer. I have a band called Caswell and the Peel and Eats, and we have a couple of singles out. We're getting ready to release our new single next week. What else do? I sell real estate for Berkshire Hathaway. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. And we have Caswell Seafood Haven, which is a new location for an old business.
Nice. So you mentioned the Misquamicut Business Association. Can you talk more about that and what motivated you to start that?
I used to, so Seafood Haven started in 1993, and my business partner, Bob Barber, started it, and I was like 18 or something, so I worked there, and we were down at the Weekapaug Bridge, where Salty's is now. So I worked there for a few years, and then when I was 21, I started DJing at the Andrea Hotel, which is now the Andrea Surfside Cafe. Anyway, it's not the hotel that used to be there before Superstorm Sandy. So Lenny Colucci was the owner, and he's passed on. But I remember saying to him, because it was right around the time when the properties that are across from Seafood Haven, so right across the street is a big parking lot, but it used to be the Atlantis, the Rex, Sliders, where the drive-in is, used to be the LA Beach Club, and it was like Party Central down here. And when the guy went down to drug charges or whatever it was 25 years ago, I said to Lenny, aren't you happy that, some of the competition's gone? And he's like, no. He's like, people don't come down here to go to one place. They don't drive 2 hours to come to Misquamicut Beach for a day trip to go to one place. They want to have a variety of things to do. So it's not competition, it's like enhancement. And it made me think differently. And he said, the other problem is nobody down this beach is together. And there had been a business association in like the 80s, and it went defunct or something. So I sent a letter back then to everyone on the beach, like all 50 businesses, and they all showed up to a free breakfast at the Andrea, and they said, all right, well, you're in charge, kid. That's kind of how it started. We had $3,000 in the bank. We had no members. And today we have 160 members and a $500,000 budget. And we do Spring Fest, Fall Fest. We started the drive-in theater right next to us where we are right now. We do classic car shows. We have a huge social media presence. We have like almost 200,000 followers on social media, which is really awesome. And we also, the most important thing I think is picking up all the trash at the beach. So we have a road crew, and we drive around a little golf cart, pick up all the trash, and keep the beach really nice. So those are the things.
So you talked about a lot of different events like the drive-in. I absolutely love the drive-in. I just went to see Greece. So how do you think all those different events like the festivals impact tourism and keep Rhode Island on the map for a great destination place?
Yeah, I think that's why we do it. And the other thing is, we have like these 8 weeks during the summer where everything is nuts, and it doesn't matter what you do. Like the sun shines and they're here. Like today, I mean, it's just traffic everywhere, which is, for people like me, I love traffic. I know the rest of the people in town probably don't, but there's a reason why your taxes are low in this town, and it's because of this in the summer. You got to give people something to do. You got to give them something. You got to create memories. There's so many memories that I hear from people about what Misquamicut used to be when it was more like Party Central. I've been accused of killing the fun in Misquamicut, even though I'm the fun guy who DJs. But compared to the way it was like in the 80s and 90s when, people were getting arrested every weekend and, all that kind of stuff, it's toned down now. So things like the drive-in and Spring Fest, Fall Fest, they kind of add value. I think the main thing about like the festivals is shoulder season, draws people in early and keeps them here later in the season. And if you fill hotel rooms and people are staying, then they're going to spend money at the shops, the restaurants, and it all trickles down from there. So the whole thing is like getting people to come and stay, whether it's in a cottage or whether it's in a hotel. And we have like 500 rental cottages down this area. We've got several hundred hotel rooms. I mean, the Pleasant View alone has like 112 rooms. So if you can fill all that, and then when they get here, they're like, okay, we're here. We went to the beach today. Now what? So then you say, well, we have this drive-in that runs 5 nights a week, or we have this car shows on Tuesday, or we have, whatever kind of events. So those are the reasons why we do something like the drive-in.
And talking about all these different things, you've also been in this position for a while, and you've seen Misquamicut Westerly grow and evolve. What's the biggest changes you've seen over that time?
I think that Misquamicut's a family-friendly destination. When I was a kid, my grandma lived in Watch Hill, and she would say, never go to that Misquamicut place. I mean, that was just the thing, it's like, it's rowdy down there, maybe not all of it. I know Atlantic Beach Park, when they had all the rides and amusements, that was kid friendly. And the other end of the beach, the quiet end of the beach, like where the Pleasant View is, that was always, but this area we're in right now was like party central, and which was cool. I mean, I DJ'd at the Atlantis in like the last year they were open. But I think we've changed the reputation. I remember the first year that it was Yankee Magazine wrote a piece about Misquamicut, like back in 2000. They said, we are a honky-tonk people watching paradise. And I'm like, that's like a crappy description of this gorgeous place. And I mean, you want a little, campiness about it. I mean, it's a beach. It's not supposed to look like downtown Westerly, and it's not supposed to look like Watch Hill. We are a unique look, but it was run down. I think the place was run down. And I think a lot of the business owners have, really ramped up what they've done. You look at what the Balone family did with Maria's, and they built that beautiful hotel. And you look at what, the Pleasant View is in great shape. I mean, the Andrea kind of took, a sad situation and made it into something nice, where after Superstorm Sandy. So, I think the big difference is that there's not 22 arrests on Friday night.
That's amazing. I agree with everything you're saying. I love living here. So moving on to your music career, and
I wouldn't call it a career, but okay.
It seems like a career.
Yeah.
Can you talk about your band and how your band got your name, everything?
Yeah. Well, I've always kind of had a band. Like we used to do before the festivals, before the Spring and Fall Fest, when I was in 2005, so 20 years ago, I started something called the Misquamicut Music Festival. And it was at the State Beach. We built this huge stage, and we had all these acts that were like famous. You would have never heard of them, but older people would have. We had people like Davy Jones from the Monkees, and we had Jefferson Starship, and we had all these cool bands from yesteryear. And I said, well, if I'm going to spend all winter raising like $100,000 to put this on, I'm opening. I'm playing. So that's kind of how my band started. I think we called ourselves the Beach Band or something, or the Beach Bums. And we just played like cover songs. But I don't know, a couple of years ago, because I DJ a lot at the Windjammer, and Amy, the owner, I said to her, I said, can my band play here next summer? And she's like, only if you call yourselves the Peel and Eats. And I'm like, okay. So whenever I DJ, I always order the Peel and Eat shrimp for whatever reason. They're just really good at the Windjammer. Mm-hmm. Free plug. And so, thus Caswell and the Peel and Eats. Yeah. So it's kind of got that Jimmy Buffett kind of, vibe, that summery, whatever. And it's a really stupid name. So we have 8 guys in the band. Well, 7 guys and one lady. And we've been around for like 2 years now. I think 2 years. And so we released a single that I wrote. I didn't realize I could write songs. We have a friend named Coconut Kevin. And so that's the name of the song, Coconut Kevin. And he's a guy who was from Holyoke, Mass, spent his summers here, and then decided to just like quit real life. So he decided to live in his van, #van life. And he's here in the summer and Key West in the winter. And he like paints and just kind of bums around. And one night in the middle of the winter when it was like lousy out, my wife came home after work and she's like, I wish I could be Coconut Kevin. And I went down the basement. It was like 5 minutes later, there's the song. So we released it, and I could not believe, like, so we started, I didn't realize how many charts are out there. So we went to #1 on the tropical rock charts, Trop Rock they call it. We went to #1 on the beach music charts, which is like, you know, a series of stations that play kind of summery stuff.
Yeah.
We went to #1 on this national adult contemporary chart, which was cool. And then Nashville, there's these guys in Nashville that love the song. And so there's a big station in Nashville, and they started playing it. And I was just like, holy crap. And then, like, you know, people would send me videos of them singing it, or I would play it and people would know the words. And I'm like, that is just kind of cool.
Yeah.
I never thought at, you know, at age 49, I could have a #1 hit. So that was that one. And then last summer I wrote a song called The Beach, and we filmed it down here. It was really fun. And that did the same kind of cool chart stuff. It went up to #1 on like 3 or 4 different charts, which was cool. And then I got a royalty check, and it was $22. But if you do the math, you get paid 1 penny for every 7,000 streams. So $22 is like millions
No, that's amazing.
of streams, you know. So you can download my song on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you listen to music, Pandora, whatever, just Caswell and the Peel Lanes. And then next week we have a new single coming out. So
Oh, exciting.
I just do singles because, you know,
Yeah.
we don't have a lot of time in the studio, and, you know, but it's fun. I always wanted to be in a band. So we get to play. We're playing next Sunday at the Windjammer. We're playing at Tunes on the Dunes. We're playing, we had a really cool gig this spring at the new Margaritaville Resort in Cape Cod.
Cool.
And that's like totally our, you know, type of genre is like the Jimmy Buffett fan. So it was a Jimmy Buffett convention, a parrot head convention. So we got to play, and they gave us hotel rooms, they paid us, and they gave us green M&Ms in our dressing room. It was really fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're also going on tour right now for DJing and with your band. Can you talk about that?
Well, it's not really a tour, it's more of a residency.
Okay.
It's like Barry Manilow in Vegas. I have like, well, it's on the back of my shirt.
Oh.
These are all my tour dates, but they're all at the same venue. The band tour is a little different. We're making our way as far away as the Groton Elks Club. So, yeah, we haven't quite hit the big time yet.
Okay, but still, I saw on the poster it said tour.
Yeah, well, I like to use the word tour.
So
I took from Beyonce's Bootylicious tour, and I called us the Peelicious tour.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, why not? We just have fun. The whole thing about everything I do is just to have fun. I mean,
that.
who else has a job to sell Misquamicut? That's like the easiest job in the world. You know, you got sun and it's wonderful. It's just the other 9 months out of the year kind of suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So talking about your music career, and then I'm moving over to, of course, we're at Seafood Haven, your restaurant.
Seafood Haven.
So what inspired you to start and open up?
Well, we had, my business partner, Bob, had a restaurant called the Cozy Corner in Charlestown, like back in the 80s and early 90s. And so when I was like 17 or something in the 90s, I worked at his place. And then he and this lady opened up Seafood Haven in 1993 down by the bridge. And so I just worked there. And then around 99, we became business partners, and we opened another place down the road called Captain Zach's, which we had for about 5 years. So we did Seafood Haven for 25 years, from 93 to 2017, and then our landlord died, and we got kicked out. And that really stunk. So the next year we did this mobile unit, which was terrible, on Winnapaug Road next to Purple Ape, and it was like being inside like a frying pan. So after a season, we knocked that on the head, and I thought we were all done. And then the Dunes Park, which is across from our old Seafood Haven, they said, hey, we have a concession stand. So we ran that for like the last 5 or 6 years, and we called it the Haven Express. And it was kind of just like a daytime thing, kind of like Sam's Snack Bar, where it's like open, you know, it was on the beach. It was very cool. It was kind of a trailer situation. But it wasn't really our fullest potential. And so when Two Little Fish said they weren't coming back, I got a call in December saying, you need to take this place, Caswell. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. So now we're back, and it's called Caswell Seafood Haven. Bob's still here, though. He just doesn't want to like own anything. He's 83. He's all, you know, happy with just working here and keeping busy. But it's his recipes and everything. And so we opened in May, and we have a deck, and we have like indoor seating, outdoor seating, because we only had picnic tables at our other place. We have waiter waitress service, or we have a takeout window, and we serve beach food, lobster steamers, whole belly clams, shrimp, fish and chips, hamburgers, hot dogs. So we're open every day, 11 to 9 in season.
So you talked about some of the food you have here. What would you recommend someone to get if they came here?
Lobster roll.
Lobster roll. Love me a good lobster roll.
It's our number one seller. We use only fresh meat, never frozen. And yeah, I think it's the best thing on our menu.
Okay, and this is your last question. So I think you're like an expert here on everything there is. So if someone came here to Misquamicut or Westerly, what would you tell them to do for the day?
First thing I would do is I would tell them to buy Misquapoly, brought to you by the Misquamicut Business Association. It's just like Monopoly, only better. And it's a fundraiser for the Business Association for our 25th anniversary. So you can go to our website, misquamicut.org, and you can buy them, $30. Or you can find them locally at places like Seaside Pharmacy and the Purple Ape. Or you can go over to the drive-in any night that we're open, and we sell them right there at the drive-in. And they're really cool. So I would say get your Misquapoly game and take it to the beach with you. And that would be the best day you could possibly have.
I love that. I can't wait to get one. It looks fun.
It is.
So thank you so much for being on my podcast, and thank you all for riding the wave with me.
All right, well, this is the inside of Seafood Haven because we saw the patio. All of the, a lot of the artwork on the wall, not all of it, but a lot of the artwork on the wall is Coconut Kevin's artwork. So he does these, like the turtle and the lighthouse there, and he does, he spelt Republic wrong on Conch Republic. But yeah, this is all his art. And this was the cover for our single that we put out, Coconut Kevin. Ass in the sand, having drinks at 11. That's the vibe of the place, is Key West, because my wife and I go to Key West a lot. So I picked the colors, they're all Key West colors. So we call it Key Westerly. And it's a mix between Jaws memorabilia and Coconut Kevin artwork. Makes no sense at all, except it's a lot of fun. So, and when you come in, you can sit at the bar and you can actually stare at the cooks while they cook your food. Or you can sit at a high top, or you can sit at a low top, or you can sit on the patio, or you can take it to go.
Thanks for watching Ride the Wave. Now let's catch you.